to the TIMFD podcast. Today is my favorite day, and this is where we learn how to make the most of each day, even when life shows up with those unexpected plot twists we didn't see coming. If this episode encourages you, would you please take a second to like, share, and comment? Now, let's find out how today can be our favorite day.
Hello, everybody. Hey, I have someone special here today. This is Sherman Armstrong. I'm going to read all the stuff because there's so much going on here. Sherman is a two-time Olympic trials finalist in the 400 hurdles, 9-time Big Ten champion from University of Illinois, and a 4-time All-American from the University of Illinois. Also, former speed and strength coach at the university, a very small university, University of Georgia. And then now as director of VAST, as you could see on his shirt, VAST Track and Field, but VAST Sports Performance. All right. With all that, you have a big entrance there.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So I met you at a little homeschool conference we did here, and I went, wow, I love what you had to say. So we're going to get into that later on.
Okay.
Because I heard the John Maxwell in you. I heard that whole kind of background with you. All right. So let's get to it. First of all, I know you ran track, so let's just, first of all, how did you even get into that? I'm a track guy myself, not any close to where you're at. And so tell me how you got into it, who first brought you into track and field. Yeah. Go from there.
I mean, for me, I grew up on the south side of Chicago.
Okay.
So sports was something that kind of kept me out of trouble.
Yep.
And it was something that I naturally I was attracted to because it was something else to do. We spent a lot of time in church, and it was trouble on the streets, and I realized sports could be this outlet.
Yeah.
And I began to, basketball was big. We would shoot basketball all the time.
Yep.
You know, growing up.
So that you're kind of your neighborhood. That's what people do. It's like ours. Okay, same thing.
Yeah,
all
it was a little crazy in our neighborhood. But once I got into high school, you know, I wanted to do and stay busy. So it was football, basketball, track. When one season ended, I was going into the next season.
Good.
And track came about because once basketball season ended, it really wasn't on my radar.
Okay.
But my sister was running track, and she was always gone on the weekends. Okay. And I'm like, I want to go too. So I joined the track team because of my sister, who was a hurdler.
Okay.
And
was she a short or both?
She did both. And she ended up getting a scholarship to Eastern Illinois University.
Okay.
And she's the one that got me into track and field.
And your sister's name is?
Sherman Armstrong.
Okay, so she was the one that got you into track and field.
She's the one. She might not know it, but yeah.
Oh, you want to give her credit, though.
Yeah, we'll give her some credit.
Okay, so she got you into track and field, but you played other sports.
Yeah.
What high school did you go to?
Luther South on the south side of Chicago.
Okay.
They tore that school down 10 years or so ago.
Okay.
But yeah.
We have some guys at our church that are Chicago people, so they probably would know all this stuff. Yeah. One played quarterback for Brown University, and he came out of Chicago. So, Okay. All right. So you Chicago, you're playing these sports.
Yeah.
But it sounds like one sport kind of dominated, or did it? What happened as you were going through high school?
Well, for me, I thought my path to the next level, college, would be basketball because I played so much. I was pretty good at it. But you know, as a 6'1" athlete, playing a 3 or 4 is just not realistic in college.
No.
So I didn't have the ball handling ability. So the 16 points a game wasn't enough.
No.
And that faded.
Still good for high school.
It was still pretty good.
Man.
So I got a couple of letters, but it became very apparent to me going into my junior year that track is going to be the dominant vehicle to use to get me to that next level.
Okay. So track and field. What did you compete in track and field in high school?
So in high school, I did everything. It was high jump, 4x1, 4x4, 110 hurdles, 400 hurdles.
Whatever the coach wanted to throw you in when you're doing dual meets to try to win a dual meet to get
and it was
points.
About winning meets,
yes,
so I did a lot.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm surprised with all that you didn't go into decathlon or something like that.
Well, at my school, we didn't have a vision or a path for the decathlon. I didn't even know it existed.
Oh, my goodness.
I didn't even know there was summer track when I first started running track. I ran 4 years of college, and I didn't even know there was a summer track option. If I would have known it, I'd have definitely ran it, but I had no idea. I found that out maybe my second year of college because my brother my younger brother was running summer track. And I'm like, what is that?
Interesting. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. For us in San Jose was the track capital of the world at one time.
Yeah.
And so all that stuff was going, all the Olympians were over there. It was a cool thing. So you didn't get that experience really at that time.
Not at all.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So you did all this. Why the 400-meter hurdles when you went off to college? What happened?
Well, when I went off to college, I was recruited to do both hurdles.
Oh,
so I was recruited to the 110 hurdles and the 400 hurdles.
Okay.
And of course, just like anything, one of them is going to just I'm going to be better at.
Right.
And I was just a little bit, and I'll say a little bit better at, because I was a pretty good hurdler at the University of Illinois. I had the record there for some years.
Wow.
In the 110 hurdles. But when it came time for Olympics, right? Olympic trials and what's required.
You got to hone down.
And looking at the standard for automatic qualifier to compete at the Olympics, qualifier, Olympic trials, and then for the 110 hurdles, for the 400 hurdles, it was very clear that the 400 hurdles is going to give me the best shot.
But boy, that particular, when you were competing, there was some.
Oh yeah.
I mean, high-end guys.
Yeah.
There were some beasts out there.
Right. I mean, they only take top 3 to the Olympics.
I know.
So we had guys like James Carter,
yes, you did.
Rashawn Jackson,
yes, you did.
Angelo Taylor,
right.
Eric Thomas.
That's right.
So and those are all guys that I had literally had to run against, and I'm trying to, position myself to get the top 3.
Right.
And my first Olympic trials was my junior year in college.
Oh wow! Okay.
So a lot of those guys, these are like 1 year removed from college or grown men with kids.
Yeah, and they're focused only on that.
And this is their job.
Yeah.
They're sponsored, etc. So it was fun though.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Okay, but you made both finals both times, correct?
Both times.
That's good. Congratulations. That's hard.
That's
hard stuff, man.
You can't take it away.
No, you can't. So, go back. You were talking. You were always in church.
Yeah.
Tell me about that and who was influential on you to be in church, especially, let's face it, young man.
Yeah.
Chicago, for me, it was in the San Jose area.
Yeah.
What would get you and motivate you, and who did that to get you in to stay in church?
I mean, for me, it was my mother.
Okay.
Her principles were, we're going to go to church every Sunday. Not only that, we're going to go to Bible study, and you need to serve.
Oh, wow.
So I served on the usher board. I was in the choir. I can't sing a lick. But I had people around me that...
They can sing great.
They sang great, and all I had to do was hold
do
a little
voice.
something.
Yeah, just do a voice. Yeah.
So I did that. So I always served, and that was a standard.
So you served in the church. That was kind of a normal thing for you.
Oh, yeah. Very, very normal. And we spent a lot of nights, weekdays after school, after sports and homework, going to church, choir rehearsal,
I was going to say
practice.
choir rehearsal. Tell me about that, because if you have no voice, but you have other people, you have a voice, but it's not.
Yeah.
How did that work for you?
Well, I think our choir director understood, what he had. So he knew, all right, we're happy to have him. He's a body.
Sure.
He can fill us up real good. He can help us out.
You're going to make a joyful noise.
Yeah. And he seems to be happy doing it. So I bought good vibes.
Okay, that's good. Throughout the scripture, it talks about sing joyfully to the Lord. So, okay, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
So
you have always, it sounds like you've always been brought up in the church.
Yeah, always. It's always been a priority.
Okay.
Even in college, finding a church home.
Yeah.
In college, trying to figure out how that works. With the schedule, because sometimes we'd have practice, sometimes we wouldn't, so balancing and managing that.
Finding a church in college is a challenge.
Yeah, it's a challenge. I bounced around to a few, but eventually, stuck in a good church in Champaign, Illinois.
Good. That's where Tanya and I met. We met actually in a college ministry at neighborhood church in Chico, California, as we were going to college there, and that was the wonderful part of that, because percentages of kids, and I think we heard it at this conference, percentages of kids that are in church that are in public schools, which I imagine you were in a public school. Well, I was too.
Mine was a private school.
You were in a private school?
Yeah, Luther South was a private school. My dad was a police officer, Chicago PD.
You're very fortunate.
And he had 3 jobs.
No way. So he paid for that.
He paid for it. He worked.
To do that.
Yeah, because the public school system in Chicago, it was, Julian down the street or Shoup Elementary, and it was
not good.
It was not good.
No.
Wow. Yeah, so he sacrificed a lot. Yeah.
And what was his name?
I'm a
Is he
junior.
still alive? He's still alive?
He's still alive. He's
Okay.
in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
But I'm a junior,
So
so
you're a
his name is
junior.
Sherman. Yeah.
So Sherman Armstrong. So
Yeah.
police officer.
Yep.
Wow. What was it like to be a
Yeah.
son of a police officer? That's interesting. Tell
I mean,
me
I thought it was
the
cool.
good and the bad of it. What was it?
I mean, honestly, for me, it was no
thought it was
bad.
cool?
I mean, he show up to school and all this stuff.
No way, really?
You know,
Oh,
and
that's cool.
he's got the camera on his shoulder. Back then, it was this big camera, and he's recording games and he's showing up.
No way. Oh, that's so cool.
There were no negatives. You know, I had one of my best friends. His dad was also a police officer. So
you had a really good example in your home.
Yeah, really
Wow.
good. And my parents, they understood we got to make sure we're taking proper measures to steer him away from the threats, you know, of going in the wrong direction.
Now, police officers, that's hard. That's
Yeah.
a hard job. It's usually really rough on marriages. Are you still married?
They are not.
Okay, because that's normally very difficult.
They stayed together,
Okay.
but when my brother graduated, my youngest,
Okay.
they decided to divorce
Okay.
and go their separate ways.
Still in your life, both of them? Or?
Yeah, both. My
Okay.
dad, he's got some health issues, but they're both in Kansas, which is crazy, from Chicago.
How did they move to Kansas? Both of them to Kansas.
Yeah.
It just worked out.
Long story. This
Okay.
podcast ain't enough.
Okay. I love that. Okay, so how'd that affect you, a divorce with the parents, especially when you're out of the home? It's a little different if you're in the home.
Yeah. Well, honestly, you know, we saw the signs and we knew that this is going to be the right and proper course of action.
Okay.
And I was out of the home, so it was easier to manage. You know, I wasn't necessarily in it to where I had to be tugged and pulled right or left.
Okay.
So,
That's good.
but we saw it coming and we understood, like, you know, this is probably the
end
best
up being.
for both of you all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, okay. And so you went through that, but you were out of the home, so it didn't sound like it affected you
No.
emotionally, anything like
Right,
that. You were kind of already doing your thing and out of the home doing all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Okay. But a police officer father, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's pretty cool. Especially when he's out there filming things. Okay. So you were growing up in the church. A lot of people who grow up in the church kind of just look at it as at church. Did you have when did you have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ? Was it early? Like there's some people that very young, they have that.
Right.
And it's just, you know, Jesus is their savior and that's it. I mean, that's pretty simple.
Right.
Were you one of those kids or was it later on in life? How did that work?
I mean, for me, it was early.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, it was, you know, church was just, it was a norm. It was a staple. It was, you know, so it wasn't something that I gravitated to later. It was instant, you know, from me being a little boy growing up, you know, just naturally gravitated to Christ and knowing that, you know, if without him, I'm not going to be where I am.
What would you say as far as like encourage parents? Would you encourage parents to say, bring your kids to church? Or what would you say to that?
I mean, I'll definitely encourage parents to bring their kids to church. It really gives them the most important perspective because they're going to see a lot of different things.
Yeah, they are.
You know, so what do you want in their mirror, their front view? You know, and you want it to be Christ-centered so they understand how to move. You know, it's the GPS to life is what it is.
Yes, it is.
So
fix your eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith.
So it provides that foundation so that, you know, so that they're good people, you know, and it sets them up to, you know, share that message and that word with their kids.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. And so for you in college, you found a church. In that, what did you do to help you grow in your faith during college? Because college is a wild time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wild time. I accepted Christ right before going off to Chico State.
Right.
So that was a different world for me. When I got there, I went, okay, this is how I'm going to have to, this is how I want to live. How do I do this?
Yeah.
Did you have anybody in your college time that mentored you, built into you faith-wise, or was it more your parents? And
it was more my mom.
Okay.
You know, with so much going on in college, I didn't have my fraternity was the track team.
Okay, there we go.
You know, so we had some teammates, and I know a good friend of mine, his dad was heavily involved in the church. I had another teammate that came along later. He was younger, but his dad was a pastor in Louisville.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, having those people in place, you know, also kind of checked where we're at and what we're doing, We did the party thing too, but it was always an awareness, there of, okay, I know it's right. And if I do that, then he knows, that isn't right. And that's not a good look.
Yeah.
And they're going to hold me accountable
Yeah.
to bring me back.
Accountability, not only spirit, do you think that accountability is important in your spiritual life? And what would you say about that? And then accountability in your athletic life.
Yeah.
Having some people, when I say accountability, people that are working with you towards a goal, right?
Right.
So tell me, as a coach, a person that understands this, what's the parallel to having those workout buddies, if you will, those accountability people? Because your coach would be more of the person directing everything, but you have to have those guys with you.
Sure, yeah.
And would you say that you need that within your spiritual life and your athletic life? And what would you consider, if you were talking to some high school students right now, what would you say for them to do with that?
I mean, you're the product of your environment. Okay. The company you keep, your circle. Yeah. So it's important to have, those people that are going to hold you accountable. I think about it athletically. Without accountability, you'll start making excuses and you'll start to veer off the path.
Yeah.
Same thing in your Christian walk. Yeah. If you don't have someone that's, hey, did you do this? Did you do that?
Yeah.
In a spiritual world, then you're going to slowly veer off the path. So, I mean, they're hand in hand. They're for me, they're the same thing. And anything in life that I do, I treat it like the principles of athletics for me. In business, did I win the day? Did I do this? Did I get that client? Same thing in spiritual and anything that I'm going through or enduring. It's coming from an athletic step, because I can better relate to it.
Yeah.
And it helps.
Oh no, I get it.
Yeah,
I totally
it helps
get it
to make it more sense to me. Yeah. But then for those younger kids coming up, a lot of them can relate with athletics. So when you bring it to them in an athletic point of view, it tends to sit and stay.
Yeah. Well, discipline, just discipline in sports would be discipline in getting up early.
Oh, yeah.
Get your sleep, right? Yeah. Getting up early, get your first morning workout in, and then if you're going to college, off to your schoolwork. Yeah. Second workout in the afternoon. At least this is how we were working. Second workout in the afternoon, weights, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever training they're wanting to do, and whatever technique training that we're supposed to be doing. Then it's back to school again and doing homework again. And if I was I had any kind of work that I wanted to do, I got to get that done. And then for me, it was also church in college. And so for me, I look at that the same way with my spiritual life. So my spiritual life is get up early. I'm going to read my Bible. I'm going to pray. I'm going to focus on what I call the 6 simple truths for me. Mm-hmm. Focus on those. Get up, hang out with Tanya, go through what we do, which is we call it a GPS, but it's basically setting up what we're going to do for the day as far as between the two of us. What new information do you have? What struggles are you going through? Is there any complaints that needs change? Yeah. And then what can we pray for? Sure. That makes sense?
Oh, yeah.
And then it's off and doing your thing. Yeah. So I look at the spiritual life just like the athletic life. It has to be disciplined. And if it's not, then it's not going to happen, right?
True.
You're not going to stay in shape.
Got to be intentional.
Yeah, got to be intentional. So with all that, you have something that I saw at this conference that I want at least the people in here, and then we'll come back to everything else. But tying to this, you brought up something, I think it was an acronym. Yeah. What was the acronym again?
LEARN.
Was it LEARN or LIFE?
Oh, LIFE.
LIFE.
The L is LEARN.
Yes.
Yeah,
so,
LIFE.
So LIFE itself, the acronym itself is LIFE. Can you explain like the L? You said it was LEARN. So we have an acronym LIFE, and you were talking to students and parents, but I'd like you just to talk about life in general, athletics, however you want to tie it.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's go with it. So the L in LIFE is learn. What is that? What does that mean, and what would you say to people?
I mean, I think learning is necessary. Learning every day, and if you're not learning, the reality is there are people all around you, people you can't see, and they're learning. And if they're learning and you're not, they're leveling up, and you're not staying the same. You're getting worse.
Atrophy, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So it's you got to do the heavy lifting, and you got to learn. And most of the learning is going to come through, mistakes and getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, talk about that. The failing forward kind of idea that Maxwell talks about.
Right. Yeah.
When it comes to learning, that's a big part of it, right?
It is. Yeah.
So explain that a little.
Yeah. I mean, they go hand in hand. I was listening to something. So when I work out, I listen to motivational speakers.
Sure.
And it goes hand in hand, success and failure.
Mm-hmm.
So I think of it as, if you've ever seen two track athletes running, they're trying to finish this race, and maybe you'll see it more in marathon or distance races, and sometimes you'll see they'll hold hands and they'll go through together.
Yes.
So when I was listening this morning, and the conversation was that, they both go hand in hand, success and failure. And it brought me to that image. We're pursuing the finish line, and success is on the right and failure's on the left, but we're going to cross together, right? Because it's all part of it. Yeah. So when you experience failure, the success in that is you learn from it. Okay. Right? Yeah. So in your entire life, throughout your entire life, if we can get folks to understand that these two go hand in hand, you can't have one without the other. No. It's not going to be a straight path. Yeah. It's going to be a swerve. You're going to be some reroutes and some exits and some step backs and some starting overs. Yeah. That's just part of the process. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So with that in mind, what was your biggest learning opportunity? The biggest, what you considered your biggest failure, but also what did you learn from it?
Right. I would say, I got a few.
That hurt, that affected you the most.
Yeah.
That you just went, wow, that was rough, but I also learned this from it.
Yeah, I'd say my time at the University of Georgia. When I was there for 3 years, 2012 to 15.
Okay.
I learned how to deal with large groups. It's a football team.
Yeah. Okay.
So how do I take my knowledge of training and speed and strength? How do I apply that to not 6 or 2, but now it's 75, or before
100.
A game, it's 120.
Yes, it can be.
How do I apply that? How do I structure that? How do I manage that? So our head strength coach was a great mentor for me to kind of guide me into how to do it. Even at times after, hiring me and paying me, hey, let me take over this part and show you how it's done. Okay. And then let's have a meeting afterwards. And then now let's start to implement what based off of what you saw, how to handle this group, because I've never had to manage such a large group. And in the SEC,
SEC is,
as a coach, the pressure,
it's huge.
It's huge. And in my position as the head speed coach, strength coach, you have to be perfect. You have to be literally perfect.
Yes, you do.
So I learned how to manage these large groups, and I became very good at managing the groups. My position group was quarterbacks, the secondary, and running backs. Okay. So we had Todd Gurley, Sony Michel, Nick Chubb, Aaron Murray, who went to Plant High School. And we had all these great athletes. And my group of athletes, we were some of the strongest athletes on the team. So we were stronger than offensive linemen. Wow. So I learned how to help improve speed and strength. But then what I learned was that no one's safe. Doesn't matter how great you are or how good you are.
Not in sports. Yeah, no, man. You're as good as today.
You're as good as today.
That's it.
So
you lose a couple of games, everybody's getting fired. Boom.
Right.
It's just what it is.
So year 3, I believe we lost 3 games.
Oh, there we go.
So I didn't think my job was in jeopardy, but they hired a defensive coordinator from Alabama.
He's bringing his guys over.
And he comes in.
Pretty much.
And,
that's it. And how'd you deal with that? Because that when you're not used to that, and you come into this, I'm with that at University of Georgia, this is awesome, and next to it, okay, we lost 3 games. You're kind of going, we'll do better next year. Yeah. And they bring in they fire. I'm sure they fired the defensive head coach.
They definitely did.
And they brought this guy in, and he's getting rid of everybody to bring his guys in.
Yeah.
Correct.
And for me, it was handle it like I handled like if I was an athlete. All right, I've got to pivot, I've got to shift, I got to be able to adjust to this now. So it was an adjustment, and he had different ways of doing things, and he's coming from Alabama.
Yeah.
So whatever he says has got to be what we got to do.
That's right.
So conditioning, we had to change everything. He'd come out to the field and go crazy. What are you guys doing? And he's talking not just to me,
Everybody,
all the strength staff. So
Yep.
we're just like, oh my God. So after that particular season, I got let go.
Yeah.
So what I learned from it was, it doesn't matter how good you are, what depending on the situation, none of it matters.
Yeah.
But I learned the importance and the value of building relationships.
Okay.
Instead of building muscle,
Okay.
building speed, building stamina. It's about building relationships, not just with those athletes, but with the coaching staff, with the support staff. And I wasn't the best at building those relationships.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And I realized once I got let go, I really didn't have a relationship where I could have a conversation about the next step.
Yeah, get your next job.
Yeah, get the next job. So that was the biggest thing that I've learned in the greatest failure that I feel, but I fell forward.
Yeah.
And I learned from it.
So here you are, you're out of the University of Georgia. I imagine that kind of felt a little, I don't know, a little lost, kind of going, what the heck, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How long were you there in that place until the shift took place? And because that'd be hard. And you had family. You had a whole family going on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Whole family moved there.
How old were the kids and stuff?
Oh man, my daughter.
We're gonna get to the kids in just a little bit. They're athletes.
Yeah, my daughter might have been 4.
Wow.
And my boys, maybe 11, 12.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like 17 months apart.
So you have this whole family that suddenly we got to shift.
Yeah.
How did that feel for you with all that?
I mean, it was just,
How is your head going with that?
couldn't sleep, a lot of prayer.
Yeah, good.
Because it's a huge potential transition.
Yes.
What am I going to do? But before I took the job, I was here in Tampa, Florida.
Okay.
And I was training athletes with vast sports performance.
Oh, so you're already doing that?
So I was already doing vast sports performance.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were in
Tampa. So you had a
Tampa.
relationship with Vast.
So yeah.
So you did have a relationship.
So I own Vast.
Oh, no
right?
way.
Yeah. So this is my company.
Okay. So here's the owner. You talk to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I own Vast, but when I got the call from Georgia, it came about because we were training some of the city's best athletes.
Okay.
And 2 of them were athletes from the University of Georgia.
Okay.
So in the off season, they'll come home and they would train
work out with you.
And they'll go back to Georgia. And the coach is like, what have you been doing? You guys are in phenomenal shape. The speed, everything.
Who is this guy? And how can we get him? Yeah.
There's these whispers of this Sherman Armstrong guy in Tampa. So I'm training some athletes for a pre-draft, helping them get ready for the NFL Combine.
Uh-huh.
Actually, those guys for Pro Day. And I get a phone call, and it's the head strength coach at the University of Georgia. And he's like, this is Joe Tereshinsky. And the first thing he asked me was, how much money do you make? And I'm like,
really? You're asking me that question? Okay.
and I'm thinking this is a joke, so I grab my phone and I'm like kind of calculating and I'm, and he said, you know what? We want to bring you out to the University of Georgia to see the Georgia Bulldogs. We got a position available for a speed coach and we're looking for one. And within a week, they flew me out to Georgia.
Wow.
I sat down, met with Coach Mark Rick, the strength staff.
Mark Rick,
Yeah, I saw the program, all the athletes. I stayed in the Bulldog room, not too far. I mean, Georgia everywhere.
Yeah.
Georgia wallpaper, Georgia pillows.
Georgia everything.
I mean, it was everything. And then I met with Coach Rick. He slid over a sheet of paper, and he had some numbers on it. I was like, Coach, that just ain't enough. And then my wife at the time, I told him, she does the same thing I do.
Oh.
So what they were able to do was they did
So she was a trainer too?
She was a trainer too.
No way.
So they pretty much put together a package that included both of us. And that's what got us out of Tampa, Florida. Okay. And I shut down Vast Sports Performance. We sold all our equipment because I knew the value of being in the SEC with the football program is huge. It's an opportunity of a lifetime in my field. Yes. So, yeah.
Okay. So you learned,
a lot.
You learned through all this because, in the aim and hold forth thing, they call it winning or learning.
Yeah.
So it's you got your win or you're learning the process, which is your learn or hear. Yeah. So you learned to build relationships.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Better relationships. So you have more connections with people.
Absolutely. It's just, I always have this awareness and this consciousness of it now. Before, it was just do your job, do your job. Now it's do your job, and now let's see.
And build relationships.
Let's build. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first. So the L in life is learn.
Yes.
So what's the I in life?
The I is improve. So every day we want to improve. So if we're learning, we're going to improve.
Okay.
So, and it's, it's the baby steps. It's step by step, inch by inch improvement. And again, athletically speaking, I came from, from nothing. I wasn't naturally gifted or talented. My superpower was learning and improving over time.
Okay.
So it was putting in those days and not missing. And if I miss, I make up. But I was able to stack these days of learning and improving until I got to the point to where folks on the outside looking in would say, that Sherman's naturally gifted.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So improving's big.
Okay. So improving physically, what do you do with VAST to help people do that? So tell me how you would tell an athlete, let's say a high school athlete, college athlete, or someone's going in the pros.
Sure.
What would be the incremental things that you would ask them to start with and then kind of improve? And what would be the areas?
Yeah. So for me, there's two worlds. And I learned this when I was at Georgia.
Okay.
At Georgia, they had mentors, but they were like hired staff every day. So it became very apparent to me that it's not just about getting in the weight room and doing the field work on the football field. It was, what are we building between the ears? So when I left the University of Georgia, I wanted to have vast sports performance focusing not just on one lane of building strength and speed, but now let's build the mental.
Okay.
So I go out to schools and we do character and leadership development.
Okay.
So the very first place that we have to impact is the mentality. It is, how do I show up? How do I present myself? What are my beliefs? What are the customs that I'm going to do every day that are going to get me from point A to B? How do I improve? Having a growth mindset and understanding and accepting failure as part of the process as a key ingredient to success.
Yeah.
Goal setting. And then the importance of being a leader, whether I'm a leader now or a leader in training. What does that look like? What's the accountability on that? So that area I dove right in when I left the University of Georgia. I found, and because they found it so important, I realized this is it. Because you could be the fastest, you could run, you can throw the farthest, you can catch the most balls, but if you don't have this together, at some point, you may have some success, but we're talking long-term, sustainable success. You're going to have this in order. So this is where I show up to your school. Okay. And I'm not in the weight room, and I'm dressed up, and I'm looking really nice. And I show up, and sometimes I'll see an athlete that works out at VAST, and they're like, Coach, what are you doing here? I'm like, man, we're about to really get the work.
Yeah.
So that is the first lane for me of attack to building successful student athlete. Okay. That oozes over into real life. Those principles that guide them. That.
So the improving not only here but here, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. So the improvement of that.
And that's the hardest part. For me, the second part is obviously the lane of building the muscle. The stamina, the endurance, the technique, whether it running mechanics, lifting techniques, strategies, change of direction, mobility, all those things. Those are things that come easy, and even when it comes to the speaking part, I'm not a trained speaker, but I understood I got to figure this out because if I want to have impact, I've got to be able to relay this message in such a way so that they leave my space with tips, tools, and strategies to better themselves.
And do you use that at VAST too? Do you speak it more out in the public, or do you actually use it in VAST?
No, we actually speak out in public.
Okay, so you have it out in public?
Yeah.
And then VAST is more the physical side of it?
Yes, VAST is more physical.
Got it.
And then when we show up, it is for a team. They will tell me specifically, here are some of our issues. Here are some of our concerns. We would like you to talk to them about, leadership, team building.
Love it.
Not talking behind people's back, things like that. So we custom a workshop to help feed and pour into that.
Develop teamwork.
Yeah. And it's legitimized by my background.
Yeah.
That
makes total sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so improving that way. So because for me, when I talk about improvement, it's on the spiritual side of things.
Yes.
So studies have shown that when Christians read the Bible 4 or more times a week, it actually moves and improves and moves their mind and heart to do the things that the Bible says. 3 or less, nothing happens. 0. And it was over 100,000 people that the study was on. It's a huge study.
Yeah.
And I keep on bringing that up to the people in the church, that it's incremental, small things every day.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, what are we doing with our body? Are we taking care of this temple that God has given us, right?
Yes.
And how are we taking care of this brain, this mind of ours, with nutrition and that kind of stuff? You guys work with nutrition at all at your place? Or it's more of just, it's more the physical side of it.
Right. We give some suggestions, but because I'm not a registered dietitian, but some suggestions, some general,
What do you do as far as with you? Because you're still in really good shape. So do you have a particular diet that you work with? And I shouldn't say diet, but way of eating that you do or not? Or are you just able to just not have to do that?
A long time ago, I used to be able to eat whatever. But as I got older, things started to stick.
Yep.
So I'm conscious and aware. I try to stay away from fried foods. I do still eat fried foods. Not a lot, though. But my daughter, who's an athlete, at a high level, and her question to me one day was, how do I get better? So we're doing all the things in the weight room. We're running hard. We've got a great mentality. And it became apparent we need to check what we're eating and what we're putting in our bodies.
Absolutely.
She spends a lot of time with me. So it's, if I'm eating, whatever, and it may not be as healthy, and she's probably going to eat it too.
Absolutely.
So when she posed that question to me, I said, okay, I need to really get what we eat and we put in our bodies in order. So we started to meal prep. I say me, because she just eats.
I get it.
She's working on learning, so we started to do the meal prep. The lean meat, the steak, the chicken, salmon, vegetable. We have our portions, our rice, all this kind of stuff. So we're very intentional each and every week and cooking all this food. 27 meals, they're ready to go. So that we have the fuel, the proper fuel to put in our bodies. So it was her that really got me out of it and into like, okay, let's key in on this. Do it for me.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you have 3 kids. So let's get into that real quick because we're in the middle of the life thing. So let's go to the 3 kids. So you have 2 boys, 1 daughter. The 2 boys are at what school right now?
Wichita State.
And they're running track also?
Running track.
Okay. So what events are they running and doing?
So my youngest son, he's on scholarship and he's a hurdler.
Oh, no. Okay. So he does what you do.
He does what I do.
Okay. So he followed in your footsteps.
He followed in my footsteps. And then my oldest, he's a javelin thrower.
Really?
But he's an all-state hurdler too. He just chose, and he has a love for the javelin.
Wow.
I couldn't imagine
man, you get him on the pole vault, then you got a decathlete right there, man.
I can't help him, but yeah, you're right.
Wow. Okay. So they both track kids, college, doing great.
Yep.
Your youngest is a daughter, and how old is she?
She's 16.
16. So she's still with you.
Still with me, yeah.
And she is running track also?
Yep, she runs track.
What's the different events?
So she does hurdles.
Okay, hurdles again.
So she's a 100 hurdler, 400 hurdles. Yeah.
Okay. And what you said is she's pretty fast.
Yeah, so she won state in both hurdles.
Florida?
For Florida. So she won the state championship in the 100 hurdle and the 400 hurdle. A year earlier, her freshman year, she was runner-up in both events.
Wait, this is varsity, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So a year earlier.
So you're not telling me the truth here because you win an event in Florida. That's winning in Texas or California.
Absolutely.
Those are the 3 top places in the nation.
Yes.
In track and field. Always have been since the 1980s when I ran. Always the fastest. And for her to do both of those. She's a junior now or a senior?
She's a junior now. So she did that her sophomore year.
She did that as a sophomore?
Yep, as a sophomore. Yeah.
Wow. And her name is?
Nia Armstrong.
Nia Armstrong? Okay, I'm going to look for her.
Yeah.
Wow. Nia Armstrong. Okay, I gather you train her?
Of course.
Okay. She has the advantage of having vast right here.
She has the advantage.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So the 100 and 400
hurdles. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And she's running for who?
Well, she runs for Sickles High School. And
Sickles High School has that type of athlete at this school.
Yeah. They sure do.
Wow.
They sure do.
Wow. Wouldn't have expected that. That's pretty amazing. Do you help any of the other athletes, or you're just dad doing the thing with your...
No, our club, Vast Track Club, so we have a team of athletes from all over Hillsborough, Pasco, even folks out Clearwater, as far as
all
Riverview.
different ages?
Different ages. We have folks from Orlando that come out to train with us from age 5 all the way up to adults even.
So you just told me also that you were at the, what is it called? The
Junior Olympics.
Junior Olympics.
Correct, yeah.
So tell me what happened with the Junior Olympics. That's 18 and below?
Yes.
Or below 18. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, it's 18 and below.
Okay, 18 and below.
Yeah.
So how did you have kids that went to it?
Yeah, I think we had about 12 kids that went.
Man, okay.
Yeah, to Junior
And how
Olympics.
did any of them do anything
Yeah.
there?
So we had Musa Matthews. He was 3rd in the 200 hurdles, 5th in the 100 hurdles.
What age?
He's 14.
14, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then we had Naima Bell, and she got 3rd in the 400.
Okay. Age?
She's
12?
Naima, she's 12.
Okay, I remember you talking about her.
Yeah, she's 12.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's so much fun. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you do all different ages.
All different ages.
Okay,
and
tell me VAST. Tell me why VAST. What's the reason behind that name?
So there's 2 things. Remember, the lane is mental and then strength, right?
Yes.
Or athletic building.
Yes.
Velocity, agility, speed, technique.
Oh, okay, so it's an acronym. Boy, you're an acronym guy. I love that.
So that's athletic.
Okay.
Right? The mental is vision, attitude, success, and time.
Okay.
So that's the mental piece of VAST.
Okay, so VAST is all of that.
Yeah.
The visual. I know that we did a lot of visualization in college. They brought us to sit down and focus, and I was a jumper, so our job was to not think of anything else around us and focus only on one area, one thing, even on your breathing.
Yeah,
stuff you guys do. That was long ago, so you guys are way beyond that,
right?
Sure, so
yeah, I mean, it's something that I not as a collective. Every now and then, I may mention it, but
is it vision for your goals? Is that what you're kind of aiming? What does
more
V mean?
Vision for visualizing yourself being successful.
Okay, so it's so the vision of where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even taking it a step deeper, visualize your race. The first driving out the blocks.
Oh yes,
the first 100,
absolutely.
All of that.
From the first step out.
Yeah.
Coming out of the blocks and boom, 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 go.
Yeah, that helped me a lot as an athlete.
Okay. Visualization, athleticism. What's the S?
Vision, attitude, success, time. Yeah.
Vision, attitude, success, and time. I love that name. Yeah. Okay, so VAST. Awesome. All right, so you have the 3 kids. They're all in sports also.
Yep.
Okay, so your training, your VAST training has shown that it can not only help younger kids, but it also has helped your own kids.
Oh yeah.
So it's seen in in what you do.
Right.
Okay. So you have the LIFE. We're going to go back to this other acronym. So we have learn, improve. Now it's F.
Yeah.
In LIFE. What is that?
And that's failing forward.
Okay, that's the failing forward that we already talked about.
Forward.
About hand in hand.
Yeah.
Working with your failures, but also learning from them so you can succeed later on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, going back to your experience with the University of Georgia, and you're released. And now you're kind of going, okay, your learning was relationships.
Yes.
So what relationships did you end up building? What did you do to, if you haven't done that, what did you have to do to start doing that?
I mean, I had to get out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
I'm not, I consider myself more of an introvert.
Okay.
For most people.
Really?
I know.
I wouldn't have thought that.
I speak to a lot of people every day, but
so if you're with a big crowd, let's really figure this out. So you're a big crowd, and there's tons of people there, and then you go home. Are you tired or just so pumped up you can't do anything?
I'm even keel. I'm just
okay. So you
chill.
are an introvert. Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of chill.
So what happens with extroverts when they're around a lot of people?
Yeah.
When they leave, they're even more hyper.
Oh,
That's
God.
me. That's me.
Yeah.
I'm a true extrovert. So now I'm totally jacked up energy wise.
Right.
So like track meets and that stuff, I had to learn to slow myself down because it was having so many people there got me all pumped up.
Yeah.
So an introvert, and you had to learn how to
like get out of my comfort zone,
relationships.
build these relationships, have tough conversations, put myself in front of people, and but I'll learn from the best. John Maxwell, Les Brown, a lot of motivational speakers.
How did they help you? Both those are two big names. You just threw out two big names.
Yeah.
How did Maxwell and Brown help you?
It's just it's the articulation of words, word usage, pacing, pauses, and repetition, but also just the motivation, especially with Les Brown, his upbringing, where he came from, what he had to overcome and endure. Same thing with John Maxwell, and being, the definition of a leader, a trainer of leaders, and just embracing this process, of, doing what you don't want to do, but doing it anyway, and just accepting that as just a way of life, if you want to be, successful.
Yeah. Gut it out.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay. So you have L-I-F, fail forward, E.
Yeah.
Tell me what
so the E is effort. And I speak a lot on effort, mainly, I speak of it in both of my worlds, the mental world and then athletic world. You're a product of the work that you put in. Put a little bit of effort in, you're going to get a little bit back.
That's right.
Put a lot in, and there's a possibility, not a guarantee, but there's a possibility you're going to get a lot back. Yeah. But you want that possibility, So that's very important to me, that effort.
Okay.
Yeah.
Putting in the effort, not wasting your time, not going for it and doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
Give me an example of what you did in the effort category. I know in sports, just in athletics, but let's say business.
Yeah.
What would be the E for you of what you've had to do to make your business work?
Yeah. It's studying and not being complacent and thinking, I've been at Georgia. I know all these things when it comes to mobility, when it comes to speed, strength, and I do. But I'm always learning. I'm always looking on Instagram and YouTube. I didn't have those growing up. So, we have this supercomputer in our hands.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And, I'm always learning, and so it does take effort because I'm home. I've worked all day, or it's the middle of the day. I've got a break, but I know I got some clients coming up, and what am I missing? What else is happening? What am I doing that could be done a little bit differently? Okay. Or what am I saying, et cetera? So, just putting forth the effort to search out and seek out different ways of doing things, because everything's just changing,
So you have to constantly learn. For your business, constantly learn, put in the effort in order to not only keep up, but get ahead.
Absolutely.
Okay. And that would be the same thing athletically.
Yeah.
You have to put in the effort.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get much out of it if you don't.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And so L-I-F-E, L-I-F-E, that's the acronym I heard you speak on. Do you speak on that a lot?
I speak on, not in the acronym, but I speak on all of those components.
Those things. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right. So now you're in your 40s. You have kids in college.
Yep.
You have another child that's going to be out soon.
Yep.
So now you're going to have your kids out of the home. What are some of your long-term goals that you have for you? Let's say, when I say long-term, the next 5-10 years, what would you like to see in your life? What would you like to see for you? And what are you doing to get there?
Yeah.
Using your VAST, the VAST, using the L-I-F.
Yeah.
What are you doing to go there, and where do you want to be?
Right. For me, I want to capitalize on the main road to success, which is the mentality.
Okay.
I have the certifications and qualifications and the master's degrees and all that to build physically. But for me, it is, sitting firm in the lane of mental build. Okay. Because, there's so many people that do what I do. But if I can equip those that I'm in front of with the mentality, when they do go into that lane or that zone or that place to improve and level up as an athlete, they'll have the mentality to endure the stress, the pain, the pressure of any moment, whether it training or in a competition. They'll be able to perform at a high level.
Okay.
And I think that if I'm in front of a group of individuals, student athletes or coaches, because we do speak with coaches too, and delivering information, they're now deployed out to touch kids that I'll never touch.
Okay.
So for me, it is how many can I reach so that I can have an impact? And there's only so much that Vast Track Club and Vast Sports Performance can do.
That's right.
And we can do some great stuff, but grander scale is, I need to be out of my comfort zone on a stage, communicating key strategies to help with the tough things in life,
Yeah. Okay. And then what would be a goal for you spiritually in your life? What would be a goal in the next 5 years that you would want to see in you, which is going to be mental and emotional and physical, I imagine. But what would you see?
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned it. I didn't hear about this study.
Oh, yeah, it's huge. I can send it to you.
You said 4 to 5?
4 days a week
4 days.
or more. Now, I'm always telling our church, read every day. Be in the Bible every day. But 4 or more times, the Bible actually, whatever you're reading in, will actually affect how you're going to respond. My wife knows immediately the day when I come into the office, because we work together, and she will know you weren't in the Word of God today. She knows it immediately. Yeah. And that's rare that it happens, but she sees it because my attitude is just a little different. It's a little off. She's used to me being up and excited and, and then it's for some reason, there's a little bit of, as she'll maybe call a little deadness that's in there.
Right.
That I'm kind of going, oh, wow. Okay. I didn't read the Bible today. I was too busy.
Yeah.
And I can never be too busy for that. So that would be something for you that you would like to see happen in your life?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because I believe when athletes are disciplined in this area of when we're disciplined athletically and we're disciplined mentally, but if we could be disciplined spiritually, it improves this and this. Yeah. So I just, I'm in my mid 60s and I'm trying to live my life the best I can, right? Sure. And live it out. But it comes first for me on the spiritual side of things of what is God, what do you want me to do today? Yeah. And then from there, as I'm reading his word, give example. This is your podcast, but I'll just give you an example real quick. Today, I was reading Ezra, the book of Ezra, and I just read systematically through it. So I read through Ezra, and I'm reading through Psalms because I like reading a Psalm or a proverb while I'm going through the Bible. And so read Psalm 67 and 68, and one part of it is just sing the Lord, but one major part of that I highlighted and sent it to my grandsons, which was Ezra was in the Word of God, and God blessed him because of that. And he said every day. And I went, wow, okay. And so I sent it out to the grandsons, and I said, hey, let's just stay focused on this, right? Yeah. And I go and read Ezra, and Ezra has that in his scripture, right as a verse or chapter 7. Says that he was in the Word of God. And then over here in Psalm 67, it says the man is in the Word of God every day will be blessed. And here it shows Ezra that goes, I was blessed because I'm in the Word every day. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting how the scripture does that. And it reminded me, I better be every day, disciplined in this area so I could be the best for my wife. Sure. Because we all go through difficult stuff. Oh, yeah. So let's go through this part because I do this a lot with people. Yeah. All right. You talked about one of the most disappointing things for you in coaching. Yeah. Give me your highest high athletically, a moment where you just kind of go, I'm so jacked up I can't get past it. What would be that?
Well, honestly, my highest high athletically, it wouldn't be something that I actually did, like physically. It's more of my daughter. So my highest high was her being signed with Nike. So
as a sophomore.
As a sophomore.
Wow.
The
I would say
highest.
that would be huge high.
I mean, that's the highest. So it has nothing to do with
with your
what
athletic
the Olympic trials, none of that. Because, her journey, and being pretty good to being good to now being like on the cusp of like great, and
exciting.
disappointment, showing up to Junior Olympics and, I'm supposed to win. I'm number one.
Yeah.
And we get fifth. And then the next year, I'm number one, and then we get third. And then it was her freshman year in high school, getting second place, in states. She got second in the 400 hurdle, second in the 100 hurdle, to now, grinding, working, focusing. She's in her word, eating right, and now the slow climb to now, I'm signed with Nike. Awesome. I've always wanted it. And then for her, she always felt, people didn't give her enough attention. Kids want attention.
Of course they do.
So she felt that for the longest, like, Dad, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And I'm just like, man, what can I do? I got to do more. I got to do better. I'm coaching. I got to do better. So we put together this schedule for her indoor track season. And it was very strategic. We're running against the best. We're flying to New York like every 3 weeks.
Wow.
And we're running against like the cream of the crop.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm making phone calls. I'm getting her in the races. And, she's upbeat. She's having a great time. She's in her word. And she's slowly punching down this door. And we finally get an invite to Nike Indoor Nationals. Nike said, hey, we're going to pay for it. Don't worry about it.
Wow, nice.
Come on up. We got the hotel. We got all this. So we show up to Nike, and she gets third place, which is good because she's a sophomore.
That's very good.
She lost a young lady who's going to Ohio State, another one that's going to Georgia.
Wow.
So we get that opportunity, and now we're on the map. We're on Nike's radar. So we're having conversations, once a month, leading up into it, her state competition. So she wins state. And then the summer hits, and she drops. Well, first she dropped the 13.3, which is very fast.
Oh, wow. That's very fast.
Yeah. So at the Florida relay, she ran 13.3. She beat out a young lady who is scholarship to the UCLA. Wow. So she beat her as a sophomore. She's one of the best. So that really put her on the map.
And that gets you all pumped up.
So I'm like, it's close. I've been working. I've been researching. I don't need my daughter disappointed in me. Dad, you didn't do me right.
I get that.
So once we hit the 13.3, now Nike's calling a little bit more. They're saying, hey, fill out this information. We just want to, Then she got an interview with Mile Split where they interview some of the best athletes.
Yes.
And just talking about your journey, what motivates you, what moves you, this or that. And then, Nike said, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're excited to have you. That's what they said. But they never really told us. And we looking like,
okay,
are we in? He was like, you do want to be in. We're like, well, yeah. You never really told us. So we're like, ecstatic,
That's
excited.
Awesome.
So for me,
that's your highest high.
That's the highest high.
Lowest low other than the Georgia thing in your life that you experienced and had to walk through?
My lowest low is definitely my divorce.
Okay.
And
when did that happen? Some years ago?
It was like 2 years ago.
2 years ago. So you're still kind of working all through.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was my lowest low. And again, it goes back to being an athlete. I want to win. Yeah. So if I'm in business, I want to win in business. I'm in sports, I want to win in sports.
Yep.
I'm married. I want to win as a married man.
That's right. That's right. I get it.
And it just did not. It just didn't work out. And for me, it was low for me because of the impacts it had on the kids and the potential. It could have potentially been detrimental for my daughter who still lives, with me. So that was the lowest. Low for me.
Okay. And what did you do to work through it? What have you been doing to work through that? Obviously, staying in shape, working out, doing stuff. But what are you doing to do?
Yeah, definitely fitness was part of it, but it was uncharted territory. I've never seen or been through anything like this before. So I pray a lot.
Yep.
Because I need guidance. Like, I've got things that I have to do, with a lawyer, and you have to do this, and you have to present this,
You do.
and you got to do it at this time, and I got a business to run, and I've got this team, and I've got this,
That's right.
and I got a dad. I got to be a dad to my kids in college, to my daughter. So all these things became so complex, and I had to just, a great speaker said, inch by inch, anything's a cinch.
Yeah.
So I started to, when doubt crept in, I just, one thing at a time. Don't look at the laundry list of things that you have to do.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? What one thing are we going to accomplish and knock out today?
Yeah.
So even though I had so much doubt, like, I don't think I can do this. There's, softwares, you got to upload this into that. And it's just like, so I'm figuring out all kinds of stuff. And then there's the financial piece
Dealing
of it.
with the whole divorce issue and all that stuff, because divorce is rough.
Yeah, and it's expensive.
Rough. It is very.
So I'm thinking, the recovery process. How do I get out of this? And I owe these people. I've got to, just trying to collect my thoughts and my moves to juggle and pivot and put all these pieces together, so we can have closure and I can move on with life.
When move on with life. So what would be what did you learn, from that you would do differently in the future when it comes to the marriage? Because I know it takes two to tango. So there's, you could have someone that has caused a lot of damage, but there's always two sides of it.
Sure.
What would you think that, to encourage somebody else, what would you say as a man that you would like to have done different or will do different in another relationship? I imagine you're not gonna be single for the rest of your life. So
I hope not. Yeah. I mean, I would say communication is everything. Boundaries are important.
Boundaries. Tell me what
as
you mean
far
by that.
as what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. In a marriage.
Yeah.
And this is, along the biblical lines, like, this is what a marriage is supposed to look like.
Absolutely, yeah.
I felt that I was too, I was moving the borders, like, to comply or to, what, she wanted. Okay. It was like, hey, I'm just trying to win. Yeah. And for me, it was like, as long as we got that paper that says we're married, we're winning. And if that means compromising on some of the values that I have and I grew up with, so be it. Mm. So I went that route. And that's when it just, it all exploded, overnight, like instantly, so. Yeah.
So part of that is on the leadership end of it, right?
Oh my gosh.
So you'd say that'd be probably a better listener, communicator, and lead with, as it says in Ephesians 5.
Yeah.
One of my favorite verses is Ephesians 5:21 through 33, speaking of how we're supposed to love our wives as Christ loved the church and how we do that. Yeah. It's cool verses. I always tell that to all our men. This is what we need to do. My dad told me, my parents were married 56 years until both my dad passed away. They dated each other all the way through their marriage. I got to see a really good example. Yeah, very fortunate to say the least. So you'd say that you would be your lowest.
Oh my gosh, easily.
And still kind of working through that, but going forward.
Yeah, still working through it with great support now.
Okay, good.
Kids in the right headspace.
Good.
There's still some some bumps in the road along the way, but that's to be expected.
Okay.
Anything worth having is uphill.
No, I get that. I get that. Okay, and then as far as business goes, what do you want to see in your business in the next 5 years?
You
want to expand to other things, or do you?
Yeah. And it goes into, I'm known for training athletes, right? So in my business, I'm really trying to, like I mentioned, the mental lane.
Bring that in.
To bring that into
it.
Mentoring student athletes, helping them get scholarships, speaking to groups, teams, organizations, coaches. That is where, I really would like to kind of, move
taking your comfort zone and moving out of it and going that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, kind of like what you just said. You said that in your in your life thing, and be able to make sure that you take that, go out of your comfort zone and go do your thing.
Yes.
Okay, wow, exactly. That's exciting stuff, man. I'm excited. Yeah, we went long. I didn't realize how long we were going. We and I were just talking. But thank you for being here with us.
No,
I always
thank you
like
for
hearing
having me.
athletes.
Yeah.
It's always fun to kind of talk to an athlete. But thank you for being candid.
We didn't talk about track, though. Why athletes are running faster.
You know what? We're not going to stop here because I want to go here. We're going to go long.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do that. Because my brother and I have been talking about this. It's amazing to see what's going on with high school, especially high school athletes. I'm amazed.
Yeah.
The speed that's going on with them.
Yeah.
And because you're in that world, what is causing these kids, these young athletes, they're just breaking records all over the place.
Yeah.
So what is happening? What's going on?
Man, there's a number of things, and not in any particular order. Number one, social media. So what happens is a kid can now post a performance on social media. Everyone sees it instantly. So now if a kid runs fast, now instantly in my mind, it's possible.
Oh, okay. So everybody else is seeing it, and you see the possibility for you.
Yeah. So now I see the possibility for me. So that's that part. And then there's people like me, where I train athletes. I specialize in running mechanics technique. In any of my athletes that are in my building that work with me consistently, these are some of the best athletes in the country. They're getting scholarships, right? Why? Because I'm going to teach you the do's and the don'ts and the why, right?
The why is
and
important.
The how.
The why is important.
Yeah. So I'm going to teach you that.
Yeah.
So those parents that invest in someone like myself, they're giving their kids an advantage. And a lot of times we get kids last week, 5 years old. So if you're getting this at 5, maybe it's once a week or twice a week.
Oh, you're so far ahead of everybody.
You take 5 to high school,
and
you're working in this way. You're just improving exponentially. So you're so far ahead, that they can't catch up. Then there is on the track itself, like the tracks now, the best tracks, like Hillsborough County just has a regular tracks for their high schools. But when we travel because we want the fastest tracks. So we want Mondo. This is what they call fast tracks. These are super Mondo tracks. So the way they are built, they're built to absorb. They're built so that when you apply force to the ground, it's not lost.
Wow, really?
So when you push off down to the ground under your hips and you drive forward, you're not losing that power. So you still keep that potential and it drives you down the track faster.
Okay.
So the surfaces, the track surface being Mondo is an advantage. So we're always looking for colleges or universities or, shoe brands that may have a track like Under Armour or New Balance, because we know they've got the best track. They're investing in that, right?
Gotcha.
And then there's the shoe wear. Right? So the
shoes
spikes
do make a difference. They are.
Yeah.
They make a difference.
So the spikes can in itself help a kid potentially run faster. Doesn't guarantee it. You still got to work. But there are restrictions on the type of spikes that shoe companies can make because they make such a difference. Right? There are restrictions.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So even the shoe itself can set you up.
The technology is amazing.
Yeah. So the technology, it's amazing. And then not just in the weight room, but outside when it comes to coaching, if you have the right coach, then you can run fast. You have the potential to run fast.
Right.
You still got to work.
Right.
So for us, for example, Vast Track Club, we excel in hurdles. Why? Because I used to hurdle. And I did a bunch of stuff wrong. And now I know a bunch of stuff that you're supposed to do it right. So body position over the hurdle, first step out the block.
Huge.
Arm position.
Yep.
How do I get my trail leg down faster? How should my arms be positioned? So we began to share all these secrets with our kids, and we're able to take it. And we've done this twice. We took a kid, 4 months, 6 months training, never did hurdles in their life, All-American. Just like that. And I tell my kids all the time.
The biomechanical analysis, man, that makes a big difference.
It's everything.
It is.
So
it is.
we've done it. 4 to 6 months, your kid's an All-American. So if you want your kid to be an All-American, come see me.
That makes sense.
So, and that's why when kids go to college, they're very selective in the process. Many schools may want them, but does that system fit me? What is that coach saying to those kids? Let me talk to the teammates, my potential teammates, because all that makes a difference. So you take all those factors, now you have the potential, and kids are taking hold of these factors and they're running and dropping some phenomenal times.
It's amazing what's going on right now. I'm shocked about the speed that's happening right now in the younger kids.
Oh, yeah.
The 18 and below.
Yeah.
And then the 18 to 21.
Yeah.
Unbelievable what's happening in those speed.
Yeah.
The speed is amazing.
Yeah.
I did not know about the shoes and all that stuff. That's crazy.
And I mean, we saw it firsthand because with my daughter being sponsored with Nike now, we were able to be with the Tate Taylors, who just won the U20s and the 100, the 200.
Saw that.
The Maxwell twins. We're in this group. We're in this family now. So we can see it in real time because Tate, he wasn't running that. But then we saw this progression from indoor season to slowly moving faster and faster and faster, and, Nike being that support structure to support his coach and those other coaches and myself now I have a mentor coach. Nice. I'm a good coach, but now I got another coach that's better than me.
We always need mentors.
And he's going to mentor me.
Yeah, we always need that.
So now kids have the even greater chance to improve because now we're sharing this information. So
it's an amazing thing that's happening right now. So VAST is a part of that.
We're part of it now. Absolutely.
My goodness.
Yeah, and that's big. That's big.
Congratulations on your daughter, for one.
Yeah.
And your sons. Let's not forget the sons.
Oh, yeah, no.
Let's not forget the sons. Congratulations on them. And congratulations on the business.
Yes.
VAST. And my hope is I get to see a lot more of that.
Yeah.
See you guys succeeding in that.
Yes.
I watch all the track stuff, so I kind of pay attention to all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be interesting in this coming year to see what you guys are going to be doing.
Oh, I appreciate it.
I'm curious to see how that's happening. Are you guys involved with the indoor circuit too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
we have a full indoor season. We'll do 3 meets in New York. So we got the Milrose games.
You do the Milrose. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Nike indoors in New York, and then we'll be in Staten Island for another big competition. Some of our kids do New Balance, which is in Boston.
Yep.
We'll be in Alabama, our first track meet in the beginning of December. So we've already put this schedule together.
You got the indoor schedule going on.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Indoor is so much fun.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun.
Well, thank you for being here with us.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I got so much of everything else. I thank you that you reminded me on that. So if you're interested, if you have a sports person, someone who's wanting to improve athletically, and that could be any sport. It doesn't have to be track, right?
Because
my grandsons were football guys.
Yeah.
So, but any sport, if you want to get better, Sherman is who you need to talk to. And you need to talk to VAST, track and field, but VAST Sports Performance.
VASTathletes.com.
Wow. Okay. We'll get to all that. So you're going to give me all that information so we can put it on there. And that way people can go and check you out and do all that kind of stuff. Thank you again, sir.
Yes.
I love being with athletes. It's so much fun. God bless you all. Remember, today can be your favorite day. Just keep on keeping your eyes on Jesus. Take it easy, guys.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. The views and opinions expressed are those of the hosts alone. TIMFD is produced by the awesome Alex Korn. And until next time, have a great day, stay grateful, grounded, and growing in Christ.